This exercise is your sit to stand exercise. It's a really important exercise for two reasons. Number one, sitting to standing is a very functional task that we do every single day. Think about getting off the couch or getting off the toilet. We need to be strong through this pattern so that we're able to do our daily tasks. Number two is our sit to stand is the same pattern that we use when we're squatting. So if we want to get the technique of squatting down pat before we load you up with heavy weights, this is a great exercise to start with. So you simply need a chair. Here, when I'm demonstrating, I'm going to have a band around my knees, and the reason for that is I like to push out against it to get the glutes activated. So starting from a seated position, I want to have my feet just outside hip width apart, and that'll vary for different people depending on what feels comfortable. Then the next thing is your kneecaps are going to be in a position where they're directly over your toes. Now I don't want you to be too far out like this because it means you have to use momentum to get up rather than your strength. Whereas here, this is a position that we're going to now use our own muscles to get up. The pattern I like to follow from here is knees out, up tall, tummy switched on, forward from the hips, and that's important. You're not going forwards from your thoracic spine, you're going forwards from the hips. We then push up, squeeze the bum at the top, emphasize that strong glute contraction, and then on the way back down, it's a bit simpler. I simply break from the hips and then sit in the hole. Now this position here should look exactly the same as what I did on the way back up. I want to mimic that pattern on the way down. So once again, kneecaps over toes, push out against the band a little bit to switch those glutes on, up tall, tummy switched on, forward from the hips, push up, squeeze your bum at the top, and then on the way back down, break from the hips, and then sit in the hole. So that's your sit to stand exercise. As I said, really important because it follows the same patterning that we want to use for our squatting. So when we then progress you to load up, put some weight on your back, you're going to follow exactly the same patterning, and it's going to make sure that you're doing that in a nice, strong, stable position. That's your sit to stand.